All right, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the basic site management features of DrupalForge. All right, ready? All right, this is what we're going to cover: how to start a demo or dev Drupal site, how to access the cloud dev environment, extend the life of that site, save the site for later use, um, talk about how the sites are paused automatically, or if you want to pause it manually, how you can do that. And then, if you come back the next day or something, how you can access the pause sites, or you can actually have multiple pause sites, so how you can actually see those pause sites and then access them. And then how to unpause the sites, resume the sites. And then the sites, if you don't use them for a while, the sites, they're automatically deleted. So we'll talk about that. And then you can also delete the sites manually. So we'll talk about that as well. All right, here it goes. So start or demo, how to start a demo or dev site. So let's go. So this is what DrupalForge looks like. It's drupalforge.org. You go there. This is the home page. You can pick whatever type of site you want. There's a bunch of templates. There's base templates, community templates, uh, sponsored templates by different agencies, training companies, and so on. I'm going to go use the Drupal 11 template here. All right, so I got to solve this puzzle here. Captcha. And then I'm going to express launch this. So here we go. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So 4 seconds, and you'll have the site up and running. Um, and here it is. So to access the site, you're going to you can click the URL, it's the application URL, and they'll bring the site up. And while the site is coming up, you're going to look at the login. The login URL is here, so it takes you to the login page. And then it gives you the username and password. So username and password are both DevPanel and DevPanel. That's the backend that we're using, is the DevPanel dashboard control panel. And so we'll paste that in here, and I'm gonna log in. So there's Drupal logged in, okay? And then this is the time that you've got remaining. Okay, so this demo will go for an hour, and then after that, it's going to get deleted automatically unless you extend it. Right? So that's how you start a site. All right, so this one's done. All right, let's go to the next one. So how to access the cloud dev environment. So each site comes with a cloud dev environment, and the way you access it is that you have to toggle this. Okay, so by default, it doesn't show you that information. When you toggle it, you get a link to VS Code and the password to it. So I'm just going to copy the password first, and then I'm going to click here, opens up VS Code. I'm going to go in here, paste the password, and submit. So it takes a minute to load up VS Code because it's a pretty big program. Um, and this is VS Code in a browser. So you're going to get everything that you get in VS Code, Visual Studio Code on your local, but it's essentially running in a dashboard. Um, and let me click this, and then I'll show you a couple of things. So it comes with a terminal built in, and you can edit the files as well. I'm going to open up a file, the index.php, and here's the terminal. All right, so for the terminal, I'm going to show you a couple of things. So if you're a Drupal developer, then you know what Composer is. So it has Composer that's built in. All right. So this is just like what you would have on your local dev environment. You'd have Composer, you would have Drush. So we built in Composer for you, so you can you can use any of the Composer commands here. And then I'm going to clear this up, and I'm going to type in Drush. And Drush is built in as well. So you can use both Composer and Drush right out of the box. Okay. The other thing I want to show you is this. So if you go to, we'll take a file like index.php and we'll put in an interrupt in here. Okay. So I'm going to put in PHP info and die. Now notice that I have not saved it. I have not committed this. Okay. I'm going to go to this Drupal site and I'm going to load it. And without saving it, without committing it, you're seeing PHP info. This is a live editor. This is just like working on your local dev environment, but you're working in the cloud. So this is very important to realize this. You don't need a local dev environment when you're working on DrupalForge. And let me show you this. So if we comment this out and I go back here and I reload this and Drupal is back. Okay. So this is a live editor that you're working with here. And anything you do, you can actually do experiments here. You can do whatever you want to, and you can see the results of it right away without going through the whole commit loop, uh, save and commit loop and so on. And if you leave this as is and you come back to it, it'll be at the same state. Right? So that's pretty cool too. All right. So that's your cloud dev environment. And notice that we've done all of this without saving the site, okay, without actually saving it. So now let's go, let's actually follow this through. So, all right, so we did this. Let me cross that out. How to extend the life or the expiration time of your site. All right. So now say you're working on the site and you need more time. So time's going by, you're adding some module, whatever. So now if you need more time, all you got to do is click on this clock icon and it says extend time here. And there you go. You've got another hour. Okay. Now, if you want more time, right, and you click on it again, now you have to register. Okay, so we give you 2 hours for free without registering. If you want more time, then you have to register. This is mainly to prevent abuse. Um, So go ahead and register. You've got single sign-on. I'm going to go ahead and register with my Google account. And I'm logged in with Google. And notice I got dropped into the home page, but I was actually using Drupal 11. So let me go back to Drupal 11 card. And it's back here. Okay. So I logged in. And once I've logged in, I'm going to click on Save Now. Okay. So now it says application saved to your account. And now the save button has changed to manage, right? So, and then you also see the My Apps button after you log in. You see the My Apps menu item here at the top. All right. So, and once I've logged in, not only can I save it, I can also extend the time. All right. So I've extended the time to 2 hours, 52, I added another hour. I can go ahead and add more time to it, and I can add more time and so on. All right. So you can go ahead and keep adding time to this. And then when you're, so let me actually scratch this off. All right, how to save the site for later use. We looked at that right now. So you saved it. We clicked on the save. The save button changes to manage. And then how to manage Save the site for later use. Um, when the sites are paused automatically. Okay, so after you've saved it, when this clock counts down to 0, your site will not be deleted, but it will be paused. All right, so that's now that's important because now you can go to manage. This takes you to the DevPanel dashboard that's used on the back end. This is your site URL. This is the clock, the countdown timer. When it goes down to 0, this site will be paused. Okay, you can pause it manually if you wanted to, but when this site gets paused, this button will change to unpause, okay? Or resume. You can click on it to resume the site, right? So that's how you resume the site manually. And that's how the sites are paused when this goes down. Now, when you're on this dashboard, you can continue to click on the clock icon and you can keep extending the time, and it goes up to 12 hours. And after, when you reach about 12 hours, it'll give you an error. And this is like a gas tank. So when you go lower, you can keep recharging it and go up to 12 hours. All right. So that's that. And then from here, you can also access VS Code. You can activate phpMyAdmin as well. But this is VS Code, just like we did from DrupalForge. You can do that from the DevPanel dashboard as well. All right. So let me go back over here and see what's next. Okay, so we talked about when the sites are automatically paused, and we talked about how to pause the site manually. Okay, so one more time to pause the site manually, you'll come to the dashboard and you can click on the pause button. Do I want to do that right now? Yeah, let me go do that right now. So I'm going to go do that right now. I'm going to pause the site. It says, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. All right. So it takes a minute to pause the site. And this process, you'll see this process run. These are Ansible scripts running in the background. That's it. The site is paused. Okay. So now I'll come over here back to DrupalForge and say I'm just going to log out and say I'm logged out and I come back in tomorrow. Okay. So today I'm logged out and I go home and I come back in tomorrow. I come back in tomorrow, I'm going to come in and I'm going to log in. All right. Now that I log in, if I go to Drupal 11 and it's basically, I think the site is paused, I can go over here to My Apps and you'll see that the site is paused. So if you click over here, you can say, I want to go to the workspace. And this is where you can come over here and you can unpause the site. So while this is unpausing, I'm going to go back. Well, I'll just wait over here. So the application is unpaused now. The site is up and running. And if I go back over here, you'll see that instead of saying paused, if I refresh this page, it should say the application is running, right? And let's see. So under my apps, if you had multiple apps, they would all show up over here. And from here, you can always jump to the workspace. And this is where you're going to end up, right? So we looked at how to access the paused apps, how to pause or unpause and resume the site, and when the sites are deleted automatically. Okay, let me talk about that. So if you're on this thing and say the sites are paused and they remain paused for a week, okay, so you haven't touched it for a week and 7 days go by, then the sites get, if you haven't touched the site in 7 days, it'll get deleted. Okay? And even if you're working on it, you get the maximum time you get is 30 days, right, to work on a site. And after 30 days, you want to keep this site alive, then you have to extend the time. You have to pay something to extend the time. Um, So depending on the site, depending on the template you're using, it's different prices for what you're going to have to pay because some sites use fewer resources and some sites use a lot of resources. So some of the AI sites and the experience builders and things like that, they use a lot of resources. So you have to pay a little bit more for that. For the smaller sites, for Drupal 11 and some of the basic sites, you don't have to pay that much to keep those sites going. So that's just being fair to everyone else in the community. That's what you pay to keep the sites going beyond 30 days. For the first 30 days, we pick it up for you. All right. Um, see, now if you go up to this, this is your this is your workspace. In the workspace, if you have more projects going, you'll see those here as well. And this is, so you can explore this as well. And I'll let you explore. You can have multiple branches here. I'm just going to go into the main branch. You can explore this dashboard. I'll have another video that goes into the dashboard more, but I think for this video, I think we're done. Okay, so we talked about when the sites are deleted automatically. Okay, one more thing. How do you delete the site manually? So let's go over here and I'm going to go back to this. I wonder if it shows up here. Yeah. So now I can delete the site from here. Yeah. Or I can go back over here and I can go to the danger zone. This is in the DevPanel dashboard. I can go into danger zone and I can delete the site from here. And I can say deactivate. Deactivate is basically delete. And so, all right. So I'm just going to delete it from here. So there it goes. And now if I come back over here, you'll see that this deletion process is going on now, right now. So these two things are connected through API, and whatever I'm doing here is happening on the back end. All right, that's it. I think we've covered everything. And that was Site Management 101 on DrupalForge. If you haven't tried it, go try it out. It's pretty cool.